Here we go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone.
The drum roll. Drum roll.
Is that what that was?
Scare you?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a heart attack
Sorry.
waiting to happen. Welcome, everybody, to Thursday Night Course Miracles group. I am Chris Green. This is my lovely wife, the Reverend Reja Joy, sitting to my left or my other right, whichever way you want to put it. Tonight we are in chapter 31. We are, I think, what do we have? One more week, and then we're in Manual for Teachers.
Well,
Pretty
31.
close.
We have to finish 31. Yeah, well,
There is chapter 32, so, right?
Yeah, and
there's
right? No 32.
Oh, there's no 30. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
and program note being next Thursday, Thanksgiving, we won't be reading the assignment for next Thursday, and I think that is the last 31. So when we come back, we'll be in the Manual for Teachers, December 5th.
well, here, actually,
5, something like that.
I have my little trusty.
Oh, you're cheaty.
Oh, what's
Oh
that?
boy, we're like
What's that?
something that
this?
you do to put carrots on things,
Oh, yeah, that.
accents, and
So
there
it is. I have a lot of things underneath, a mat on your desk. I stuck a lot of things. Like when I was little, and we used to put everything under the bed. I wish, everything went under the bed. That's how we cleaned our room.
along with the monster.
No monsters.
You didn't have a boy. I did. I never looked. I never looked in there.
Outside looking in the window.
Never looked in there.
Okay, wait.
So next Thursday's the 28th.
Oh, 28th is next Thursday. Yep, Thanksgiving, and then the manual.
So
Yep,
December.
So the next time we meet, we'll be doing
December
the manual.
3rd, right? Or yeah.
No, it's 5th.
Oh, December. Yeah, that's right. 5th. My haircut's on the 7th.
Okay,
Saturday.
we're doing manual
65435. Okay. All right.
All right.
So this is it in the text. Next time we meet, we're going to be in manual for teachers. And so tonight we are in chapter 31, the simplicity of salvation. We're going to read part 3, the self-accused, paragraphs.
What?
No, you realize this is live television, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Sorry. Live television. That's true.
It is.
No.
It's live TV. So we don't yell cut and do it over again or anything like that. We're going to read paragraphs 26 to 32. That's in part 3, the self-accused, paragraphs 26 to 32. And I'll let you know ahead of time that salvation is one of my favorite topics.
You don't get it.
Because I don't.
I don't get That's what we say. I
don't get it.
Okay.
So I've been getting closer over the years.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember I was in Madison, Wisconsin, and it was the first time I read that lesson. One of the salvation lessons. I called Joy up. I was crying because my Christian salvation definition was that unless you believed in Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son, born of the Father, died for your sins, then you weren't going to be saved. And so I thought I wouldn't see salvation in the Course of Miracles. So, all right. If you would like to read tonight, indicates as so, and we will write down your notes.
Hi, Jacob. Jake is here.
Oh, Jacob's here. Hi, Jake.
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can. Loud.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Who wants to read? Oh yeah, Charles
Okay.
And Reverend Jerry and Paula and Barbara. And Jake, are you going to read, honey?
You can.
Yeah, yes.
Jake is going to read. Jude.
Who was after Paula?
No, I'll be listening tonight. Thank you all for reading for me.
Okay.
Do you have Reverend Barbara?
Oh, Barbara, there we go.
Okay. And what did you say?
He said, thank you all for reading for me. I will just be listening tonight.
Okay.
You're going to be our happy listener. Good stuff.
Very nice.
All right.
Okay. Very good.
2, 3. All right. If you would kindly mute your microphones during meditation, Joy will get us started.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. So we'll just close our eyes and bring all our focus within. As soon as we do, that, we begin to relax. And because it's the same time, it's the same place, our bodies remember that this is the time when it knows that there's nothing we need to do right now, nowhere we need to go. And so it's quicker. It goes into relaxation faster. It's a learning animal. It learns that this is a time for just letting go and surrendering. And it feels good. Because how often do you do this? I know I don't. I forget that at any time I could just take a break and just relax and just let go. Let be. Let everything be exactly as it is. Not wanting anything to change. In fact, being okay with what is. That's a huge one, right? But yeah, we can decide to just be okay and just be at peace. What a concept. So let's do that now. We're just at peace. And there's nothing we would change in this moment. If we can imagine that, to be completely satisfied, completely whole and complete, completely complete. Nothing needs to be taken away or added. Just perfect. Wow. And that's our reality. We're imagining what is already. We are perfect. Nothing needs to be added or taken away. And when we see that, all we need to do is extend the love that we have, that we are. And so we feel in this space, we feel loved. We feel cherished. We feel known. We feel seen. And what knows us and sees us is our source, that which created us and sees our perfection, loves us eternally, unconditionally. And we feel that love now warming us, bathing us in its light, healing us of all our illusions. What a beautiful place to be. And we do that now with each other. And so from this place, we visit what is creation? It's our special topic in the workbook of A Course in Miracles. And there's this one paragraph I'm going to share. It says, what is creation? We are creation. We, the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him. Yet, back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity and to be but as God created us. And our lesson today, all things I think I see reflect ideas. This is our prayer. Our Father, your ideas reflect the truth, and mine apart from yours but make up dreams. Let me behold what only yours reflect, for yours and yours alone establish truth. All things I think I see reflect ideas, and we'll take 2 minutes to be in the silence, and I will time us and I'll bring us out. We'll begin now. And yours alone establish truth. When we're ready, we'll open our eyes. I
Yeah.
I think I want to, I don't know why, but I want to share a miracle. And I'm going to share that little miracle. Remember about the thing.
What?
Oh, he'll remember. He'll remember in a minute. I'm doing an audiobook and it's it's on, yeah. And it's on it's Truly Beloved Love Letters from an Angel in You. I'm not sure if In You is in the name of the title, but anyway, it's from an angel. It's from your angel, our angels. And also at the end of the book, oddly enough, Sebastian channeled saints. John of the Cross. I mean, I don't know if he's a saint, but he did Saint Teresa Avila and this other Teresa of Lisieux. Interesting, I wasn't expecting that. Well,
That's the statue downstairs, isn't it?
oh,
Teresa.
I'll have to find out which Teresa that is.
Yeah.
The one holding the roses, yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, I did this Saint Teresa Avila, and I don't know how many people know of her, but I think a lot of course people are drawn to her. She was really, really cool. And when I went to what I do is I record and then I go back and I take out all the sounds because I have like this little breath sound I make and then just sometimes there's these little clicks and pops and stuff, it's weird. And I spent about an hour, taking out these. Well, guess what? On her audio, not one change. And that was like spooky. It was like I kept looking and looking and going down the thing and looking and not one blip, not one breath, nothing. It was like,
Wow.
and I felt like it was like a little present from Saint Teresa Avila. So I don't know why, but I wanted to share that with you.
She might be the patron saint of deaf mutes or something.
I don't.
Well, I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I know that.
So,
that's hard for me.
I know.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Chapter 31, The Simplicity of Salvation, Part 3, The Self-Accused, paragraph 26. Charles, can you read for us? It starts with only the self-accused.
Only the self-accused condemn as you prepare to make a choice that will result in different outcomes. There is first one thing that must be overlearned. It must become a habit of response so typical of everything you do that it becomes your first response to all temptation and to every situation that occurs. Learn this and learn it well. For it is here delay of happiness is shortened by a span of time you cannot realize. You never hate your brother for he or his sins, but only for your own. Whatever form his sins appear to take, it but obscures the fact that you believe them to be yours and therefore meriting a just attack. One of the things that affirms in me is I must feel it first before I can see it. So my brother is just a reflection of the ideas I hold within myself. And I feel that's the lesson today, right? This paragraph speaks to that. If I realize I'm making a habit of anyone who upsets me or anything that causes me disturbances, it's the feelings, the thoughts I'm holding about what I'm seeing rather than what I'm seeing. So that's where the correction lies. For me, that's my understanding of it. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay, Reverend Jerry, paragraph 27 starts with, why should his sins be sins?
Excuse me, why should his sins be sins if you did not believe they could not be forgiven in you? Why are they real in him if you did not believe that they are your reality? And why do you attack them everywhere except you hate yourself? And you, excuse me, are you a sin? You answer yes whenever you attack, for by attack you assert that you are guilty and must give as you deserve. And what can you deserve but what you are? If you did not believe that you deserved attack, it never would occur to you to give attack to anyone at all. Why should you? What would be the gain to you? What could the outcome be that you would want? And how could murder bring you benefit? Okay, well, this gets back to what we were talking about with Charles just before, we were fooling around talking about whose dream it is. And if it's my dream, it's got to be my projection of my guilt. And that's why I see it in a brother. I mean, it's just as simple as that. If you subscribe to a non-dualistic view, such as this course, if you don't, and you subscribe to wisdom paths that are dualistic, which I have a real propensity to want to get into the dualistic ones. They're so much juicier. I mean, it gives my ego a chance to really vent. You know what vent is? That's a Jewish saying. I vent to the store.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
Well, come on now. If you could do it, Chris.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I didn't start this.
He says, if you can do it,
Oh,
Hey,
Right?
it's my dream. Hey, it's my dream.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Mhm.
I'll be the jokester, and you laugh at my jokes. That's my dream.
Oh, okay.
But that'll never happen, right?
I see. So you weren't accusing me of telling a Jewish joke. You were just accusing me of being a jokester.
Oh, sure.
All right, well,
you're
I'll
the
take that as a compliment, and Barb's going like this. So,
believe me, Chris, you're the furthest thing from a Jew I know.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, hey, think about that. Is that thank you. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I am an instrument of his. Yeah.
Jude.
No,
Jude,
you know,
okay, go ahead, Jerry.
I love you.
Oh, I love you.
All right, bud. Okay. Well, I'm complete and I'll pass.
Okay, all right, Jude, you had a share.
Yes, but I lost it when I was listening to the joke. Thank you.
Oh,
Might come back.
Oh,
it'll come back. Sometimes it goes to the back of your head, then it curves to the left or the right, and then next thing you know, it hits you right in the side of the head. So,
Well, it's the last chapter, and I think we've all gained enough knowledge from what the course is teaching us about this, especially since you said, Jerry, this non-dual, it is a non-dual teaching, that by eliminating the ego, we do realize our true one self. And that, the line that says attack becomes meaningless because I realize I am only attacking myself, and that the hate is in my mind, in the one mind. And that's where I know it needs to be healed. So the miracles don't heal anyone else. They only heal me. They correct my perceptions.
and you know something, Jude? I must be riddled with guilt because of the state of the world that I see. I'll tell you what, this world is totally insane, totally corrupt, totally crazy. And if it's all coming from me, boy, I need this work. I need the Holy Spirit.
Oh, we all do. We do. But the thing is, it's a group. It's a group. illusion, and the projection of the body being an illusion of the mind, the separate mind. We have to look at it as one illusion. It's not, healing billions of illusions. It's healing the one mind that's needs to be healed. And that's why it's not a personal, it's not Jude's personal mission. It is for Jude to heal her one-mindedness, but it's not about healing a billion separate minds, because it's only my illusion that I see all the guilt and all the bodies in all the world. It's my mind that I need to heal that illusion, as it is for you, Jerry. But that's why it's for each and every one of us to accept the atonement for ourselves. We can shine the light by seeing the truth in others, and when we recognize it in ourselves, and say knowingly, you are one mind with me, Jerry, Barbara, Charles. We're all of one mind and soul. That is what we are. But I can't do that for you. Everybody needs to do it. That's why we have to hold hands in a state of grace.
Yes. The way we're seeing this, like Jerry was describing, if we weren't all in on it, we wouldn't see it. Right?
Don't look at me.
Well, am I? No. Okay. I mean, the way Jerry sees the world, I mean, the way Jerry just described the
See, you
world,
only know what you see.
right? And the way Jerry just described the world, if that's how I see it, that means the only way we can see the world is if we're all in on it. This is what we've all created, what we're seeing. All the chaos, the corruption, the hatred, the warring, and all that stuff. We've built this ourselves. We're all in on it. So you can't go like, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault. All right.
Wait.
Charles.
There's that part in the, this reminds me, this conversation, and we'll go to Charles. It reminds me of this part in the course. It's my favorite, one of my favorite parts, but it really puts things in a great perspective. Well, like the whole course does, but listen to this. Okay. And you'll recognize the quote. It's from Dreams in the Body. Okay. Text 18. The home of vengeance is not yours. The place you set aside to house your hate is not a prison, but an illusion of yourself. The body is a limit imposed on the universal communication, which is an eternal property of mind. But the communication is internal, right? It is not made up of different parts which reach each other. Mind reaches to itself. It does not go out. Within itself, it has no limits, and there's nothing outside it. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you entirely, you within it and it within you. There is nothing else anywhere or ever. That is such a huge thing to grok. It's amazing,
but
right?
It's perfect. Yeah.
But
it's somewhat hard to grasp because we tend to not want to, but that's exactly what we should be striving for.
So what the description of the creation is, the theme for this next series of lessons, that God encompasses every aspect, every thought, every perception, every sense, every experience, permeates and saturates every experience, that everybody's experiencing it. He's the essence of the beingness, the isness of it, and it's all encompassing. And where there is no place where God is not, where love is not, but we perceive it through fragmented thoughts and fragmented senses that don't know the totality of it, understand the totality of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Charles, go ahead.
Thank you.
Your hands up. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. It was just perfect what Reverend Joy brought to bear there about the communication. Oop, I hit something there. Okay. Because we believe we're private individuals with private thoughts, and we're responsible for the thoughts that we hold, we don't realize that we're sharing our belief in a thought system, a system of thought that we've established as a collective, a system of thought that establishes fear of guilt. And what we share, we strengthen in each other. And as we start to share the true thoughts we share in reality, they become our strength in our own lives, in our own way of entertaining our own individual lives. So it's not that we have private thoughts, it's that everyone, when they open and share, realize I'm not alone in how I see things. I'm not alone in how I see things. This is a crazy world. This isn't, people are doing crazy stuff. I'm not alone in how I feel about all this. And they say, well, if I'm not alone in all that, then it must be in my sharing, I come to realize that in unity, this all goes away. This was created out of a joint shared way of being. And the Course says, once we shift our attention to our true thoughts and start sharing from there, then this dream starts to change. The world starts to change. People start to respond to us differently. Because we're strengthening in ourselves and knowing that we share that with others. We don't strengthen it in ourselves and the world changes. We strengthen it ourselves through this sharing with others. This is why these groups are important. These dialogues are important, because this increases value in my life as I leave this group tonight. These sharings increase the value of life I live. So, it's really important to know that there's no thoughts that we need to correct in ourselves alone. But we have to recognize that these are shared thoughts, the insanity, the stupidity, the idiocy. It's not you. That's not that you're doing it by yourself. It's a learned thing. We all learn it. And now we need to unlearn it through Christ and through God's love.
Excellent.
Anyways, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Loved it.
Paula, can you do your share and then read paragraph 28? It starts with sins are in bodies. Give us your share first.
Well, because I'm a very practical person, I'm always looking for ways of dealing with these negative thoughts in my head that are not in just my head, but in everybody's head. I find this Hawaiian prayer to be the most practical, logical thing you can do when you're thinking these thoughts, especially about politics. That's usually where I'm go off, or about somebody that I don't like. And it's so simple. It's, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I'll say it over and every time these thoughts come into my head, because you're not just healing yourself with this prayer. This goes out.
Right.
It's a prayer. This prayer is used to guide the practitioner through a process of introspection and forgiveness. It's intended to help the practitioner acknowledge and take responsibility for negative thoughts, actions, or emotions that may have contributed to conflict or disharmony. I just find I'm so much more peaceful since I've grabbed onto this and since I don't watch the news anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share that.
What's the Hawaiian?
that's it. That's
That's it.
That's the Ho'oponopono, yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
whole
it.
thing.
That's why
Yeah.
she said it in English. It's Hono,
Oh.
right? Charles Hono,
It's a
Hono.
little hard to,
Ho'oponopono, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, you want
That's
Oh,
right.
Well, that's what I was asking.
Oh.
I was thinking that was the one when she said it in English.
sins
Okay,
are
Paula,
body-
go ahead and read 28. Sins are.
sins are in bodies. They
Yeah.
are not perceived in minds. They are not seen as purpose, but actions. They are not seen as purpose, but actions. Bodies act and minds do not, and therefore must the body be at fault for what it does. It is not seen to be a passive thing, obeying your commands and doing nothing of itself at all. If you are sin, you are a body, for the mind acts not. And purpose must be in the body, not the mind. The body must act on its own and motivate itself. If you are sin, you lock the mind within the body. If you are sin, you lock the mind within the body, and you give its purpose to its prison house, which acts instead of it. A jailer does not follow orders, but enforces orders on the prisoner. Oh, that's heavy duty.
That's beautiful.
Knock it out, Joy. Knock it out, Paula. Tell us all what that meant. Because right now I think I'm doing
I'm sorry.
3 to 5
Please
for
forgive
something.
me. I
Yeah.
love you. Thank you. That's what it means. And
Okay.
that's what it means every time.
Yeah, that should do it. Yep.
I don't think we like it to be that simple. I think we like a little drama sometimes. So
Yeah,
that's my share.
I really don't think the ego likes simplicity at all. So
Yeah, exactly.
yep. Which is interesting because this chapter is called The Simplicity
Of salvation.
of Salvation. Go ahead, Charles. You have a
That just simplify it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Paula.
Thanks, Paula. Uh, I love it. I like how he starts off the paragraph. The body is that which all sins related to the body, and any kind of judgment that has to deal with the body. If we didn't have a body, we're just minds. Sin would be impossible. It would be virtually impossible.
Yeah.
So if we can look past the body, and connect with minds and see that the source of the mind is the light of God's love, or lit by the light of inner communication. I see light as communication. And as we share the light of our love with one another, communication occurs and we don't have to think about it.
Hmm.
It's just a natural way of life. The way the plants communicate with the ground and the sun communicates with the planets. There's no language, there's no thinking. It's just a natural function of life. So, but as we think of ourselves as body and form, and we have to think about it, then that's when things go upside down. Anyways, thank you. I'm complete. Thank you for your, I'd rather say, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Jude, go ahead.
Yeah, just keep it simple. I just, having, like you all have studied the course for so long, take it to the transcendental level, and us being purely spirit and consciousness itself is our capital reality. And this is what we're trying to remember and come to know ourselves as who and what we are. So the whole point of this is to recognize that, the very first part of this chapter, the simplicity of salvation is to recognize that who you think you are is not who we are in truth, and to judge and condemn each other as being in bodies is to totally miss the whole point of it, because we're we're just succumbing to the ego's shame and blame and guilt game by looking at ourselves as something that we're not. If we are not our bodies, and we're obscured, our minds obscured by the illusion, our glasses are dimmed by the illusion, we're seeing ourselves as bodies, we're looking through the glass in darkness, we're blind, we're not seeing. This is what the Course teaches us. We're seeing ourselves as a something when what we are is formless, limitless, changeless, love itself, love and holiness itself. And so we spend a lot of time talking about this body, mind, world illusion. And this is where we're at home in the mind of God, in the home of love and peace and joy, but we're wandering abroad in the thought system of the ego, thinking that we're something that we're not. So, you want to get lost in the whirlpools of egoic thought? This is what the world does to us and for us. It hides and conceals the truth of who we are. That's what the purpose of the illusion of the body world is.
Excellent. Thank you. Oh, that was good. Let's see where we at.
Jerry?
Oh, Jerry, Reverend Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah. Emphasis on the Reverend. Okay. No. Hello, is this mic on?
Yeah, you took Reverend off your name.
No, it hasn't ever been on, but it
Oh,
has never
you
been.
know,
We've just known it was Reverend.
oh,
I have an insight. I want to share. Yay. And the insight is that at the beginning of this whole damn, dare I say, goddamn book, is this. It says, we don't mess around with the definition of love because that's beyond the scope of this thing. We focus on the blocks that we have to the awareness of love's presence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm, as a student, really taking on as the curriculum. Oh, another attack thought. I own it. I bring it to the light. It's my barrier to love. It's me. Really. Oh, another jealous thought, a grievance, another this, another that. Oh, I own it. I bring it to the Holy Spirit so I can know peace and see and perceive peace instead of the fear and the anger and all that stuff. So I really want to shy, and I've been as guilty of this as anybody, spouting the metaphysics of this goddamn course and thinking I know so much when I am using it as a defense mechanism, all this spouting, so that I don't have to look at my blocks, you see. And people by and large don't care to hear from all my lofty thoughts anyway. That's what Jesus is for that. Listen to him.
yeah.
He's not stuck in the blocks anymore. My job, like I said, is to look at there's so much resistance within my mind. I don't want to give up the news. Come on. It's one of the few pleasures I have left in my life, in my crummy life. I don't want to give up. Today I went to lunch with a bunch of oldsters. So I go to this oldsters lunch, and they had the dessert. What's that cheesecake? Yeah, cheesecake. Golly, man, I don't want to give up cheesecake. I want to enjoy the dessert. I got to give up all the attack thoughts against people too. I don't want to. Now, if I can be honest about that, and I have been in the past, I've done the workbook, but do I want to apply it? I mean, I'll sit here. My wife is cringing on the couch with me as we watch the news because I'm treating it as the God's honest truth. Those SOBs and this and that and this, and I'm going nuts. I mean, I can't stand it, and I love it. I love it. Seriously, I'm sustaining this for all you guys. You can blame me.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Ho'oponopono.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really.
Thank you,
Ho'oponopono.
thank you, thank you.
They're so kind.
Oh,
But I'll keep the I'll keep the torch. Don't worry. I'll keep all this world spinning, just as
You'll keep
crooked
it.
as it is.
You'll keep
Yeah.
you'll keep the Torah going.
Thank you,
I'll
Jerry.
keep. Speaking of Torah, there was a movie, I think in the 60s, Torah, Torah, Torah.
yeah,
That
the
was a
Japanese
good
one.
one.
Yeah.
I think the Japanese word for that's different than yours, though, isn't it? It's not the same.
That's making the news up front. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jacob.
Jacob, go ahead. Do you have a share?
Yeah, okay, yeah. And thanks, Jerry. Did we just read 29?
No,
No, not yet.
no.
Right?
28?
28.
Okay. I'm leaping myself then because I was reading I was listening to 28 and then I thought we read 29, so I reread it. And because I had to come in and out and whatnot. But and then I had a revelation. I started to understand what 29 is saying. And I still don't know if I know what 28 was saying. I was getting lost and my mind was rebelling, saying, wait a minute, none of this is making sense. And I'm the only one that's going to like stand up and say, wait a minute, I don't understand any of this.
Yeah.
But then 29 is crystal clear to me and brilliant. I love it.
That's the next one. Do you want to
Yeah,
read?
so I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait.
Oh, you'll wait? Okay.
I'll wait until we discuss it.
All right. And we can
All
just
right.
we can blame it on
Do you wanna-
Reverend Jerry.
Do you want to read it, Jake, or you could switch with the
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Is
Go
that-
ahead.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Woohoo.
Perfect. 30.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Mhm.
And 28 is still an enigma to me. Woo, it just went right over my head.
Yeah.
But in any case.
Blame Jerry for that. So okay, go ahead. Paragraph 29. Yet is
Okay, 29. Yet is the body prisoner and not the mind. The body thinks no thoughts. It has no power to learn, to pardon, nor enslave. It gives no orders that the mind needs serve, nor sets conditions that it must obey. It holds in prison but the willing mind that would abide in it. Ooh. It holds in prison but the willing mind that would abide in it. In other words, I think the willing mind has to say, okay, I can be imprisoned by this thing that's going on in my body.
Yeah.
It sickens at the bidding of the mind. Don't we know that? That would become its prisoner. And it grows old and dies because that mind is sick within itself. Learning is all that causes change. Learning is all that causes change. Ooh. And so the body, where no learning can occur, could never change unless the mind preferred the body change in its appearances to suit the purposes given by the mind. For it can learn, and there is all change made. So this is brilliant because as we go through life and do our research and reading and everything, we realize that there is such a mind-body connection that is undeniable, you know? And that's what they're saying here. The mind is running the show. The body is the prisoner of the mind, and the body will attend to what the mind is dishing out. And I do a lot of affirmations and a lot of I'm trying to get this stubborn mind body into meditation more often to connect the mind and the body and to feel gratitude for the health and wellness that I am experiencing in my body, to promote it. I want to feel gratitude as if it's already happened. those kinds of philosophies where they say, you bring it on as if it's already yours. And so I am a healthy. How about it, Reja? We're both listening to this affirmation. There's a half hour of affirmations that we listen to often about, my body is healed. I bring healing unto myself. I am strong. I this and that and all those positive. So that's really making a beautiful mind-body connection. And I think that's exactly what the Course is talking about here. And I'm not, well, I was going to say, I'm not sure exactly what the big punchline is for that mind-body connection. Can anyone help me out with that? Maybe it's, it says, maybe that last sentence where it says, and so the body, where no learning can occur, could never change unless the mind preferred the body change in its appearances to suit the purpose given by the mind. Yeah. Where it can learn, and there is all change made. So yeah, all the change comes from the mind. He's just showing us who's boss.
Cool.
The mind.
That's
Most of the
beautiful.
time.
Most of the time.
I'm complete.
Some of the time.
Thank you.
Some of the time, but not all. You can only be what? You can only be.
I don't know.
You can only be. You can only be committed. You can't be committed some of the time. Is that it?
Something like that.
Some of the time.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wait a minute.
Wait,
Charles, how'd you
was
get third?
I got shut down and I put my hand back up again.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
well, go ahead.
Okay.
Then we'll do Jerry and Jude.
I was just going to let the Jacob know that there is a book. I can't remember the title of it now, but it takes what you're saying, I'm healthy, I'm loving, and beautiful. And it divides it up in 3 sections. First, you say it about yourself. Then you see a friend of yours saying it to you. Then you see your friend sharing that same thing with other people, sharing with them how they see you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start seeing the 3 different ways and feeling that, and all of a sudden you start getting feedback from it. That's when that feedback is really important. Because we could say it to ourselves a lot, but until there's feedback to it, it's not really sinking or anchoring inside ourselves. And this is why sharing, in our minds, we're sharing with others. You might say, your friend over there is beautiful, young, and healthy. And they inspire that inside me, But as long as there's feedback, and I think it's important, feedback really supports our inner growth while we're in the body.
The feedback from who or what?
Well, from the Holy Spirit, really, because the Holy Spirit's going to give you feedback but it'll give you feedback in a way that you'll know it comes from the work you've done.
I had a very practical example of that this week.
Okay.
I had a problem with my American Express bill, and I did not understand a goddamn word of it. And I thought, if I called to have it explained to me, I wouldn't even know what to say to them. So I went to Jesus with it, and I asked for guidance. And I was just persistent, and I got the guidance. And every time I did the math, it would become clearer and clearer. But every time I just kept asking him for help, and I got the help. It's that one, it's trusting that guidance is available in every situation all the time. So that's enough for me.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. That's great.
Jude, did you put go ahead, Jerry, but Jude, did you put your hand down? After Jerry, we'll call on you next and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Reverend Jerry.
I don't know if this is part of the course, but have you guys heard of a middle way? We were talking about, the dualistic and non-dualistic. And this course is purely non-dualistic, but it does give an option. Listen, be a lucid dreamer because your resistance is so great to just living in the spirit. So you want to live in the body. Let's use the body for the purpose of this course, and that would be as a communication device and a learning device and for forgiveness purposes.
Mhm.
It'll give you pictures of situations where you need to forgive, and then it's useful. But if you want to make the body the be all and end all and say, I don't believe in the mind and the spirit whatsoever, that's what you do on Sundays when you go to church, and then you forget about it. No, he's saying let's have a middle way here. Trust me in in as much as you can. And please, Jerry, don't feel guilty about the cheesecake, okay? You're not a body. You're not a body. And it had that graham cracker crust that my mother
Ooh, that's
used to
good.
make. I like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
A little
I
bit of
like that.
strawberries on top.
Yeah.
There were.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have some in the refrigerator right now.
No.
I do too.
Don't do that.
We'll be right over.
That cream
Cheesecake with the crumbles.
Yeah, it's called Philadelphia cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, that's right. Jude.
Jude, go ahead. I saw her take off mute.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Yes, I just wanted to say those last few paragraphs speak to me of um, the mind separate from the one mind of God, identifying as a separate mind within the body. That's what it says when, if you think you're a sin, you believe that you're the body. And, that is the root of this separation and looking upon others, judging people as other than me as being one in the mind of God. And I mean, that's me. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hmm.
All right, Barb, you're up.
Hmm.
Paragraph 30. The mind that thinks. Uh-oh. That sounds dangerous.
The mind that thinks it is a sin has but one purpose, that the body be the source of sin and keep it in the prison house it chose, and guard and hold itself at bay, a sleeping prisoner to the snarling dogs of hate and evil, sickness and attack, of pain and age, of grief and suffering. Here are the thoughts of sacrifice preserved, for here guilt rules and orders that the world be like itself, a place where nothing can find mercy or survive the ravages of fear except in murder and in death. For here are you made sin, and sin cannot abide the joyous and the free, for they are enemies which sin must kill. In death is sin preserved, and those who think that they are sin must die for what they think they are. This could very well be the most negative paragraph in the entire course.
Lucky
Um, I could say I don't understand it because I'm spirit, not body, but that would not be truth. I understand it because we've all been conditioned in this way. And the reason this paragraph is so explicit is it needs to root out every bit of the negativity for us to understand the total shift that must occur. And, I could read this over and over again. I don't even have to read these things because I understand what they're talking about. There's something in me that yearns to move beyond this paragraph and get to the place where all the things are that I don't really have a sense of in the same way I have a sense of what's going on in this paragraph. I would really like to learn more about joy. I would really like to learn more about freedom. I would really like to have a sense of what it is to live in spirit, not prisoner of the body. So for me, my tendency is, I'm going to skip this. I know all about this. But the fact of the matter is, like an onion, I have to release every one of these things before I get to the sense of true freedom.
Hmm.
I'm complete.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Wow.
Sweet.
Thanks.
True.
Yeah.
Charles, go ahead.
Just as you said, this is one of the darkest paragraphs, because this reminds me of suicide. Those whose minds are locked in the body, and the only way out of the body is through death or sacrifice
Hmm.
of life. And they're so joy-ridden and depressed and cannot escape from the dilemma of the mind. They feel it's locked inside the body, you know. And as you know, if we could hold them in our hearts and in our minds and really be with them in the silence and stillness without convincing
Mm-hmm.
about what is real, just the mere presence would help alleviate that idea that there might be a little spark of hope somewhere, you know, because really it's usually they're drugged up and they're just like half out their body already because they don't want to be here anymore.
Mm.
And because the body is the mind is locked within the body. And they've convinced themselves that the only way to free the mind and become free from all the stuff is to leave it behind physically. Anyways, thank you.
Wow.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Reverend Jerry.
Emphasis on the Reverend, please. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say I said rear end. I didn't say so. All right. I meant to say Reverend. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Highness.
That's right. Gee, where are we tonight? This is being recorded, people.
Oh boy, this is
Hey,
the
all
course.
right.
Hey,
Yeah, let's
now I forgot what I was going to say.
yeah.
Oh, I know. It had something to do with Barbara because it was so wonderful. You know, the old game Monopoly. You know, if you want to go get out of jail free cards, those are good ones, and go pass go directly to some. What is it? You go
Not
directly
pass go
to.
to not collect $200. So
Uh-huh.
you don't land on go, you don't get that $200.
Well, you see, now that game is very metaphoric for this course. You can't start at the beginning for the first square and go directly to the end. I wish we could. And I know exactly what Barbara's talking about. Come on, Jesus, bro. Give me a break. Enough already with
Right.
this with the sin and the guilt. I understand that. Let me go to the out of jail free card and go right to the end with the joy. That's what I want. And he says, sorry, but you got to read the dice first. You got to roll the dice every time, and you got to read it with me.
Yeah.
And you're still not willing to. You want to cheat in this game, don't you? And I said, you got me.
Guess so.
Guess so. I guess so.
Why can't the Course of Miracles group publish a Cliff Notes?
That's right.
There should be just either that or let Homer Simpson write the book and he would just be one word. Duh.
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 Didn't you buy the Course of Miracle cards? I used to have them all the time. Little
Yeah, I got
box
'em.
set of cards we used to pick up with lessons.
Or
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
remember that comic book of the 50s, that kid, What Me Worry?
Yeah.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you're too young.
Yeah. Let's see.
Alfred E. Newman.
Oh, there you go.
What? Oh, no, what I wanted to mention was that,
share
okay, and then I'll
do,
read, okay,
31.
and
Yeah.
we'll do 32.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening all the time to near-death experience people, and many of them experience their near-death from suicide. And they thought they were gonna, I don't know what they thought. They thought, I guess they wanted to end their pain and suffering. But they got so much more when they released the body and knew and realized that they were still themselves, truly themselves, and knew that that they were responsible for seeing the world the way they did. You know, they have the life review and everything, and they see how all their actions have a ripple effect. And amazing, all their good actions and their not so good actions all had a ripple effect, and they feel the connection. They often feel the connection with everyone and the unity that they weren't able to see before. But and I've heard people come back and say, I love this life, I love this life because it's giving them just an opportunity to, um, say, I'm sorry and forgive me and I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But anyway, so that's what came up when we were suicide.
So how do we live our life as if we've had an NDE?
Right. Because, well,
How?
I mean, if you had an NDE,
Well, I could take a plastic bag and put it over my head and
no, it's not. It's
You could lie on the floor like one of the gurus did and just lie there until life was over and not do nothing and just lie there. And he awakened just lying there because, or like a young boy who sat at the tree and just sat there 3 months later, not eating enough food or drinking water. And, the whole village flourished because he was sitting by that tree. And 6 months later, he vanished.
Whoa.
He vanished from the tree and nobody knew where he went.
Whoa.
Then 2 years later, he reappeared again. His body wasn't affected by not having food or anything else. Bodies, as I really believe the Course says, bodies are sustained by love. But because we're so fixed on what we need to sustain our life, it's best for us to follow our beliefs than it is to go against them. It's a forgiving thing that we need to do for ourselves until we realize otherwise. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Barb.
Barb, you want to share, and then
Okay, then I'll read.
You
Okay.
read 31. Go ahead, Barb.
Yeah. After all and I love the discussion. After all our discussion, one thing really occurred to me is that, I want the Cliff Notes, but my urge to want to see the positive as opposed to all the negative is just a further expression of dualism. And my realization has to be that that's all illusion. That we already are whole. We already are love. We already are peace. We already are all those things we really have this desire and yearning for. Stop. We already are. I'm complete.
Cool.
Thank you.
That's great.
All right, let her rip, potato chip.
Okay. 31. Let us be glad that you will see what you believe and that it has been given you to change what you believe. The body will but follow. It can never lead you where you would not be. It does not guard your dream, not your sleep. It does not guard your sleep, nor interfere with your awakening. Release your body from imprisonment, and you will see no one as prisoner to what you have escaped. You will not want to hold in guilt your chosen enemies, nor keep in chains to the illusion of a changing love the ones you think are friends. Wow. So release your body from imprisonment and you will see no one as prisoner to what you have escaped. Yeah. What you give yourself, you extend to others, I would say. So when you do, like we often have said that when you forgive yourself, then you don't turn around and condemn your brother. I don't think. And also when you see yourself as whole. You don't turn around and try to get wholeness from someone else. You see them as whole. I see a holy relationship as celebrating your wholeness. Each other, not trying to get the wholeness from someone. So it's but
yeah. I mean, you and I have been together for 22 years.
And it's been a celebration.
Yeah, I've never felt like you had to do something to me to make you happy.
It's amazing. I was he was trying to sleep. He'd take a nap, right? And I was I got a phone call. See, I usually give him give him his shoulders out of line, and so I usually give him a shoulder rub, and then he goes and takes his nap. So, but I got a phone call, and I was talking on the phone really loud, and he's trying to sleep. And so he said my name, he said, Joy. And I went, oh, and immediately I thought he was chiding me for being too loud. That's not Chris. Chris doesn't do that. You know what he was saying? It's time to go on the treadmill.
Oh.
He didn't want me to miss my treadmill because I'm, sensual. And it was just, and I thought later, it's so amazing that I will project onto him what I think, because I felt guilty. I felt guilty for being on the phone. So I projected an attack from him. Isn't that amazing?
And guys, I made the cardinal sin, and I gave her the number one gift for her birthday that you should never give your wife.
Because it implies that they need it. A new treadmill. I wore this one. I wore this one out. He's screeching so loud I can't hear myself.
Yep. It's at least 15 years old, and she called it in. And they said, "Well, if it's that old, you might as well just buy a new one." So
yeah. Anyway,
so I was gonna surprise her with it. Then I thought, well, maybe it would be better if we decided together which one to get.
Yeah, and
obviously I wanted the one that had so many bells and whistles on it, and you can walk your dog alongside it, everything. And she just said, no, I want this one here that's just a treadmill. And I said, okay. So, but I bought her something. You should exercise equipment is the number one gift you should not give your wife for her birthday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, or anniversary. Cross it off your list.
Why don't you read 32?
Well, there's an idea. We have idea. Yeah, okay.
All right. Yeah. And we finished a section. Can you believe that?
That is kind of interesting. And we got time to spare.
For the first time in a long time.
The innocent release in gratitude for their release. And what they see upholds their freedom from imprisonment and death. Open your mind to change, and there will be no ancient penalty exacted from your brother or yourself. For God has said there is no sacrifice that can be asked. There is no sacrifice that can be made. Do not repent your sins. Do not do sacrifice. Do not do penance.
Eat your cheesecake.
Eat your cheesecake.
Yeah.
That would be the mantra. That will be the mantra of this group.
What?
Well, eat your cheesecake and don't feel guilty. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
don't feel guilty. You have to enjoy it. If you're gonna eat, enjoy it.
And remember, if you don't step on the scale, you don't know you don't know how fat you are.
That's right.
You'll never know.
Exactly.
It'll be an enigma.
And you know what Edgar Cayce used to say? He used to say, it's not what you eat. It's not what you eat. It's what you think about what you eat.
Oh, there you go.
And he said he could, because people would see what he ate, and it was sometimes things that he said, don't eat. And he said, it's not what you eat, it's what you think about what you eat. So,
yeah, he loved it. He loved his bacon.
And it was pork. Yeah.
Oh boy, did he love his bacon.
He said he could transmute the effects with his mind, because it's how he thought about it, But if you think that something's going to harm you, you'll get indigestion, and the mind's amazing.
Yeah, it is
powerful. Yeah.
He liked bacon.
Okay. What?
Wow.
I guess so. Yeah, pork or something. But anyway.
Okay, before we close, just a reminder. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he said they were going to come today and tomorrow.
Chris got paid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 2 invoices.
Two
so
invoices. There
it'll-
were a couple of past due.
All
So,
right. So-
but just a reminder, we will not be
Mhm.
here next Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
we will be back December 5th
For the manual.
for the,
section
and
4.
we'll be in the the manual for teachers.
Mhm.
Yes. And then we'll close the rest of the year with manual for teachers, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, we don't go into the lessons or anything like that. So
Yep. And then,
Is there an original edition version of the manual?
yeah.
Is there?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I'm going to have to use my old blue book for
Oh.
the manual.
Why is that?
Because I don't, my original edition, with the pearls is just the text.
No, it's not. No,
it's
look at
not
it,
that.
Jerry. It's not. It's everything.
Oh, come on. I
The
can see
lesson-
chapter.
Look at it.
No, really. 30,
No, really.
31.
We don't hold your book up. We don't. Is it a pocket size book?
I guess maybe
is-
that's it.
Is it pocket size? Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can send you a
Oh.
pocket size workbook manual. Why don't I?
No, I'll get it. I didn't know.
oh,
Okay. I mean, this is the only one I knew.
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Stop eating your cheesecake and you'd be able to have the manual for teachers.
Okay, so we'll close by closing our eyes.
Oh God.
Closing our
close
eyes.
our eyes.
And feeling that connection to one another. And it's that self that we share. And that's what's felt when we let go of the limitation that we place on everything. When there's no limitation and we expand into the being that we are, we know, we feel that connection. We know the connection that we are to that one self that we share with one another and our source. And we feel that now in this moment. And from that place, there's a little poem called The Inner Light. It's real short. The time will come when time is meaningless and place is nowhere. All our concepts wait but their appointed ending. They uphold a dream with no dimensions. At the gate of heaven, are they merely laid aside before the blazing of the light within? And so it is.
Okay, so that you don't feel left out next week. In 2 weeks, your homework assignment is do nothing.
No, it's do nothing till you hear from me.
No, do nothing, and I want a book report on do nothing. Okay, in 2 weeks. All right, and
I
you
want
have
my
to-
get out of jail free card.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can turn that in, and then I won't have to expect a report from you. So if you've got one, you can use that. So,
Okay.
happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Please eat all the turkey you want. You're not going to get fat. Don't worry about it.
On the head.
Turkeys never kill anybody. We kill turkeys.
Tryptophan. That's the
God bless
answer.
you all. And stay safe, healthy. Do your chores, mind your parents, love your God. Don't
Hey,
stay in school. Oh, wait a minute. We're all off. You can skip that one. Okay.
Reja, just kick him under the table.
I'm
We
telling
won't
ya.
know.
I'm like,
Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night, Gracie.
Bye-bye.
Say good night.